Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In today's lecture, we are going to study the prepositions of places and directions. We shall also discuss their use one by one. What is the function of the prepositions of places? There are two functions which are performed by prepositions of places in a sentence. One is that it indicates the direction or the movement of an object or a noun in a sentence. The other is that it shows the position of a noun when it is at rest in a sentence. Now, preposition of a place shows the relationship of place between the nouns or to the other parts of a sentence. Common prepositions of places and direction are on, at, in, by, from, to, towards, up, down, cross, between, among, through, in front of, behind, above, over, under, below. They are the common preposition of places. Sometimes they show the direction or the movement of a noun, and sometimes they show the position of a noun in a sentence. Now we shall discuss one by one, and I shall also be telling you that which of these preposition of places is the preposition of position and which of these is the preposition of movement and direction. First we start with in and at. In indicates something to be present in place or enclosure. It does not say particularly where, but gives an enclosure to the noun it connects with. So when something is in enclosure inside other thing, we use in. Your shirt is in the closet, and the hair in does not show that where exactly in the closet. He lives in Australia. Australia is a big city, but where in Australia, any region, any city of Australia is not mentioned. So we say he lives in Australia. Exact place in Australia is not shown because Australia is a big country. Here we can say that he lives in Karachi. Where in Karachi? We must mention any part of Karachi. For example, we can say he lives in Karachi, and where, if we shows the exact place, we can say he lives in Karachi at Gulshan Iqbal. He lives in Karachi at Kurangi. He lives in Karachi at Gulshan Mehmar. So when we show the exact place, we use at. But when we show that something is in an other thing, in the closure, in the boundary of other thing, we use in, but does not show the exact place. Alex was in that building. Where in that building? We don't know it, if it does work on first floor, second floor, on the right of the building, and the left of the building. We don't know exactly, but since it is in the building, in the boundary of the building, we use in. At indicates an exact place, as I already told you that when you talk about the city, he lives in Hyderabad. Where in Hyderabad? At Kasababad. Now when you talk about the exact place in Hyderabad, you use at. He is at the door. I am standing at 134 George Street. Now the name of the street is given, so the particular exact place is given. We use at. He is at home. That is also correct. And now we are moving towards on, above, over. Now first I tell you that these two prepositions in and at are the prepositions of position. They show the position of a noun in a sentence. They do not show any kind of movement or direction. But here in this these three prepositions of places, on, above, over. First one, the on is preposition of position, above is preposition of position, over shows the direction and movement that is different from first two. Let's understand the use of on first. On indicates a position above but touching the object. For example, phone is on the table. Now phone must be touching the surface of the table. If it does not touch, you can now use on, and it should have its weight on the table as well. He is on the third floor means his weight must be on the third floor, and he must be touching the third floor as well. Sit on the sofa. When you sit on the sofa, your weight is on the sofa and you touch it, the surface of sofa as well. So when you have your weight on something, when any object's weight is on any other object and it is touching its surface, we use on. For example, I give you another example, very easy example. For example, the picture is hanging on the wall. Now you use on, hanging on the wall, because it is touching the wall and the weight of the picture is on the wall as well. So when there is an element of weight, an element of touching the object, we use on. Above indicates a much higher position than the preposition on does. It also indicates something out of reach. The sky is above my head. Hold your hands above your head. Stars are above the sky. When you talk about some object which is above something, it means it does not touch the surface of other thing. For example, you hold a book over the above the table. It means there is a book above the table which is not touching the surface of a table. And the weight of book is not on the table, but it is in your hand. You are holding it. So when there is a little bit distance between the things, and one thing is exactly above the other thing, we can use above, but it should not have its weight on the other thing. For example, there is a tree and the bird is sitting on a branch of a tree, and that branch is above your head. You can say that the bird is sitting on the branch above my head, because there is a difference, there is a distance between the branch and your head, but it is exactly above your head, and it is not movement as well. That thing is also important. If you are sitting under the fan, you can say that fan is above my head, because the fan is not moving. Fan is not changing its position. It may be moving, but it does not leave its place. So in that sense, you can use above. Now over is a preposition of movement. It shows the direction. Over means a position between on and above, which is not touching. Above is also not touching, over is also not touching, but above shows the position in rest and over shows the position in movement. There are clouds over the hills, means clouds are not touching the hills, and clouds are floating in a movement over the hills. The birds flew over my head. Flew shows that there was a movement over my head of the bird. So when there is something in movement, we use over, but it should have some distance from other body. The flat, my flat is over the shop. Now in this sentence we can say that it may not be in a movement. My flat is over that shop. It is in position of rest. So in more cases, and frequently we use over for the movement. For example, there is a cat which is jumping over the wall, and it does not touch the surface of a wall. You can say that the cat is jumping over the wall. Now let's understand under and below. Under is the opposite of on and means below the surface of something. When you use on, it means on the surface, and when we use under, it shows the below the surface of something. The cat is under the table. It means exactly under, means its shade is over the cat. The carpet under my feet is very soft. The book is under my glasses. Below indicates something at slightly lower position than what under indicates. The only difference is that below shows the lower position, but it is not exactly under any object, just like the under shows. For example, you are sitting exactly under the tree, in the shade of a tree, you can say I sit under a tree. But you are sitting below the height of the tree but not exactly under the tree, you use below in that sense. I have a car just below my right eye. Do you see the line below the paper? Please don't write below this line. Now we also use that the answer the questions given below. It means lower than exactly the places. To and from. To indicates a motion in the direction of a place. It exactly, so he went to the college. He went to college. We are going to Mexico. He walked from the farm to the beach. Now, to shows the direction where exactly the noun or object is moving. Here is something very important I want to mention, that when you say I go to school, it means you usually go, you are a student, and that shows your direction towards the school. But if you use I go to the school, I go to school and I go to the school. Now, the shows that you're not a student, it's not your regular activity to go to school. When you use I go to the school, means you may be a parent, you may be another visitor to the school. But if you use I go to school, it means you are a student and it's your routine, you on daily basis go to school. So to is used to indicate the direction of an object to some place. From indicates the point of place at which a motion or a journey or action starts. So when we talk about the starting of any movement, any motion from one place, we use from. He came from England, so his journey started from England. He walked from the beach to the farm. That is also the starting point of movement is given. He drove here from Atlanta. So here is the starting point and where he drove to Atlanta. So when we talk about the starting point of any motion or journey or any action, we use from. Now there are two other important prepositions. These two prepositions, just like to is preposition of movement, from is preposition of movement, in and out are also the preposition of movement. For example, if there is a fish in the water that is already present over there, you can say that the fish is in water. But if the fish is diving into the water, it is in movement, you use into, not in. You cannot say the fish is diving in water. You will have to use into, because the fish is in the movement. There is a motion shown. If it is already there in the water, you will say the fish is in the water. And if it is diving, it is in movement, it shows any direction, you will have to say the fish is diving into the water. For example, if you are in the house already, you can say I'm in the house, I'm in the school. But if you shows any direction or coming, he came into the house, means his direction is movement to the house, inside the house is shown. So into is a preposition of movement that indicates a motion towards or going inside something. The police broke into the bar. If there is already police in the bar, you can say the police is in the bar. But we are showing the direction or the movement of a police into the bar, inside the bar, we will use into. The police broke into the bar. My car crashed into a street sign. So there is also a movement of car shown with into. Now out of is exactly opposite to into. Out of means the opposite of into. It indicates a motion towards outside of something. For example, you have something in your bag and you are taking it out. You will say, I'm taking out the stationery from my bag. I'm taking out money from my pocket. So here are the examples. He's going out of the town. It means he's going uh, out towards some other place outside of the town. Get out of my house means get outside of my house. So out of is also a preposition of place that shows the motion, that shows the direction outside. Please remain out of this, not indicating a place but an issue. So this is a video about understanding the prepositions of places. In our other video we shall discuss through, across, beside, in front of, behind, towards, by. These all other preposition of places and preposition of position shall be discussed in my previous video. And in this video we have discussed up to out of, into, from, to, under, below, over, and on, in, at. So we have discussed preposition of places and both the respects and both the functions. For example, the preposition of movement and preposition of position. I hope you must have understood the use of preposition of position and preposition of movement. Now you can use them and identify them in any of the sentences you are given, and it will be easier for you to attempt the questions related to the preposition of place in your test in NTS and other tests of that you are going to appear for a job, or any other test for as far as the entrance test are concerned in any university or a college. So keep watching my videos. It will help you to understand grammar at the top level, and you will find it easy to use grammar in different situations, contexts. Thank you very much.